National Cyber Security Centre, a part of GCHQ. Cyber security training for school staff. Your school will be reliant on technology to run. For example, the school's email, teachers' online lesson plans and MIS system is now a crucial part of everyday life in a school. When something goes wrong with this technology, it can have a devastating and sometimes critical impact on the operations of the school. A cyber incident is when your systems, processes or people are negatively impacted through the means of your IT. Your IT team or IT support provider will be responsible for securing your systems and should be ensuring basic protection from cyber attacks. However, no technological solution is 100% effective. Often the best defence is staff who are aware of the main cyber risks and threats to a school. School staff can be a crucial part of a school's cyber defences by following some key cyber security steps. Your school should have an IT security and acceptable use policy. This guidance should be read alongside these to ensure you understand your school's policies. Agenda. During this training, we will look at how and why cyber attacks happen, but also give you some tips to ensure you are practicing good cyber hygiene in both the school and at home. First, we will look at the results of a cybersecurity schools audit. Then we will look at the types of people that might be at a risk to your school from a cybersecurity perspective. We will then look at practical steps you can take to protect yourself and your school from cyber attacks. Statistics from cybersecurity in schools audit. A recent survey looked at cybersecurity in over 400 schools. The key responses included 83% of schools had experienced some type of cyber incident or attack. 69% of schools had suffered a phishing attack. This was the most common form of cyber attack across the schools surveyed. 97% of schools said losing access to IT would cause considerable disruption. This is not unusual considering how dependent schools have become on technology. 65% of schools don't train non-IT staff on cybersecurity. When trained, staff play a valuable role in defending against cyber attacks and incidents. Who is behind the cyber attacks? There are all sorts of individuals and groups that might wish to target a school. They may try to con or use unknowing staff to gain access to the school's data or money. You might also be caught up in an untargeted attack or incident. Often perpetrators send out blanket emails to organisations in the hope that a member of staff clicks on a dodgy web link or attachment. To begin with, we're going to look at schools that are targeted. In a school, you may face targeted threats. This is where individuals or groups identify weaknesses in the cyber defences or processes of that school. This could involve stealing or guessing login credentials or exploiting flaws in software. Attackers may also have identified some personal information about a member of staff online. Attackers can use this information to manipulate victims into performing actions or divulging confidential information, usually for fraud purposes. This is called social engineering, and often the victim has no idea that it is being done to them. Why would they target my school? Schools hold sensitive data on pupils, parents and staff. This can be valuable to perpetrators for a range of reasons, from setting up fake bank accounts to reselling the details online. Schools carry out lots of financial transactions. Often these are only signed off by a few members of staff in a school. Cyber criminals might only need to target one or two individuals in order to steal or con money from a school or supplier. Whilst a school may have a dedicated IT team or IT support, these people are not normally security specialists. Cybersecurity is only a small part of their day job. This can mean the school's IT systems are not adequately protected and are a soft target for cyber attackers. A school could have older equipment or software that is more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Schools are busy places where quite rightly the focus is on teaching. This can mean security measures aren't adopted or discussed that could improve the school's cyber resilience. Now, let's have a look at some of the types of individuals that could target a school. Threats are normally described as being external or internal. In this section, we're going to look at external threats. External threats are people from outside the school that may seek to cause harm. Online criminals. Criminals are generally interested in making money and are very good at identifying what can be monetised. They will steal and sell sensitive school data. They can also block access to IT systems and demand a money ransom to let you back in. They may also look to exploit weak school processes and may target members of staff that authorise school payments. This could involve taking advantage of how you log into the school IT systems and services. Organised criminals have the resources to perfect their approach. We're now going to watch 2 short video case studies. These are based on real events and demonstrate how the threat from cybercriminals have impacted schools. As we saw in the previous video, this school had their data encrypted, and this resulted in the school having no access to its computer network or data for several days. The criminals began the scam by phoning the school and pretending to be from the Department for Education in England. It's worth noting, criminals might pretend to be from any education department in the UK, depending on what school they are targeting. As we saw in the previous video, this school was targeted by criminals using a phishing technique who wanted to steal money from parents and the school. This also led to the criminals using and selling on the parents' personal details for future attacks. This isn't just a problem for independent schools. Nurseries, academies, local authority schools and school suppliers have also fallen victim to this type of cyber fraud. Foreign governments. Foreign governments are generally interested in accessing sensitive or valuable information that may give them a strategic or political advantage. It is highly unlikely that a foreign government would directly target a school. However, schools can be caught up in cyber attacks by foreign governments that are untargeted. A good example of this was the WannaCry ransomware developed by North Korea, which affected the NHS and other organisations in 2017. This attack was possible because there was a security vulnerability in Windows devices that allowed ransomware to run and spread very easily from one computer to another on the same network. Whilst this ransomware has been attributed to North Korea, it is not believed that they specifically targeted the NHS. Threats from inside the school. We're now going to look at threats originating from inside the school. Whilst it is common to think about the threats that may come from outside your school, there may also be attempts to access your data or disrupt systems from inside the school. This is commonly referred to as the insider threat. On very rare occasions, it may be a disgruntled employee, or more commonly, an honest mistake from a member of staff. However, in a school you might also have curious pupils eager to practice their hacking skills. Potential threats from pupils. These days, pupils have access to an abundance of material on the internet that can guide and coach them on computer hacking. There are plenty of tutorials, videos, and free tools that they can use to practice their skills. It may be that your pupils are just curious and are looking to test their skills with no malicious intent. They may not completely understand the implications of their actions and might do something that seriously impacts your network. Other pupils may be looking to disrupt the school network just to be a nuisance. Think of it as the modern-day equivalent of setting off the fire alarm. They may also try to access their own data or their friends to change behaviour records or coursework grades. There are many websites that offer services to help attack networks and websites for a small fee. This may be in the form of a distributed denial of service attack, where lots of internet traffic is deliberately aimed at the school to overload its network. This can be very disruptive, leading to IT outages lasting for hours. Although it doesn't delete or change information on the school's network, distributed denial of service attack can prevent access to critical internet-based services.